Guys, Kurt from Time Machine Transport. So I wasn't going to do a video on this. However, there's this, I don't know if he's a subscriber, but somebody who saw my video, I think his screen name's like I saw some like 2487 or something like that is his screen name. But anyways, so he actually had a comment about my drum being shit. And also that this S-cam should have been done on prior brake jobs. And I agree with that. So the way that this, because this is the old S-cam, this is the new S-cam, like I said in other videos, you want to make sure that the contour is the same, that they both look alike, because there are right side and left side. So those are the washers right there, and that's the grease fitting, or the whatever you want to call it, bushing, bushing. Anyways, this S-cam, believe it or not, was that much playing it. That's ridiculous. However, there was no bushing inside here. And I'm wondering if, because we had a couple mechanics that were just fucking shitbags. The last guy, he was actually stealing our parts, selling them, telling us he put it on the equipment, and then he was selling it out the back door. So I'm wondering if this is part of his nightmare, because there literally was no bushing in here, none whatsoever. I know that sounds crazy, but I hadn't done these brakes. I did the other three wheels. I did those. However, I did not do this one. This one, the pads were my last set of pads I wanted to do. So I'm kind of perplexed. So first thing you want to do is, and I'll spray this out again. I already cleaned it. You're gonna want to clean it with some sandpaper, some brake cleaner, or if you have one of these handy tools, a brake cone. The brake cone basically is spring loaded. You can get them right. You can get it right in there. You can use that too. These are nice to have, and they're not a gazillion dollars. My brake barrels, or whatever you want to call them, I just cleaned those up because they're not needing to be changed. So what you do is, once you clean them, you just put it up there. And if you don't see massive wearing or they're not broke, they're good, in my opinion. Like I said, I'm not a mechanic and I don't pretend to be one. However, I have the ability to figure a lot of stuff out, especially now. So anyways, so I do have some old drums that we changed out on other equipment or whatever. And I kept them because Michael O'Hara can actually verify this. When he was in our shop, I had actually went next door and asked if he had like a micrometer or whatever, and I could never. Well, don't say never, right, Jason Gilbert? I couldn't find what the proper measurement or diameter, or not diameter, but thickness of the outer part of the drum. However, the comment from the other viewer, I saw some 2487. He said that, well, here, I'll show you the other. And you should really know this about brake drums. So this is the reason why we're changing it out, is because look at that massive crack all the way through. For those of you that don't know, that's an automatic out of service. So he said the drum was garbage, or the drum was junk. Well, obviously because of the crack it is. But he gave me, and this is where you learn something new every day in trucking. So he said that the minimum you can have from, and that's pretty center. Actually, let me go line up to the holes. Hold on. Sorry, I'm having a difficulty with the glare of the sun. So that actually, if you look, hole lined up, it is almost at, he said that the max or the minimum you can have is 16 inches 5/8. So 16 and 5/8. And this drum is just a 16th shy of 16 and 5/8. So this drum was garbage coming up anyways. However, so I do have some new drums. I'm redoing, my mom passed away, we're redoing a table, but the table was warped, so I went ahead and got it soaking wet and weighed it down. So these are my front drums on my truck that I have not put on yet. I will clean them up before I put them in. But if you take your finger and you run it right on this lip, there's a slight dip, very, very minimal. Now, on this drum, you can actually see the dip. So there's a decent groove right here. You can actually see it right here. There's a decent groove all the way around this thing. I'm not really sure why that happens, because beautiful day out here in Burlington, Wisconsin. You can see as the pads sit on there, they're actually pretty flush with the drum. But they are off about, maybe 1/8 of an inch inside the drum. So that's where your wearing is going to come from after all them years. So, all right, old man, get up. Oh. So this was the best of the drums. Let me go grab my tape measure, sorry. So this was the best of the drums that we had, in my opinion. So line up with that hole. Straight across to the next one. Try to go on that lip. Come on now. And we are at about 16 and a half. So on my next brake job that I do on this trailer, I'm going to replace all the drums. But I did not know the measurement. And I was very, very curious for years. What is the proper, thickness or measurement on the inside diameter, outside, whatever. But that viewer answered my question from years ago. So I cleaned this drum up. There was grease inside of it and just a lot of gunk. So I cleaned it off. You don't want a lot of grease to be inside your drum, okay? You definitely don't want that. You want to clean all that grease out, because if the grease gets on your pads are going to be ruined. Now, let's get back to the S-Cam. So, there wasn't a bushing in there. There was no bushing. So I have a few bushing kits that we had around the shop. So I'm going to replace this, put the new one in with the Zert fitting. Also, what you want to do is you want to pull your Zert fitting out down here and clean it out. You can see the hole right there. Yep. All right. So you want to clean that out because there's a lot of hard grease and stuff in there. So here's my problem, though. So I went over to my trailer guy, Spellman Trailers, and I brought in a bushing that I said, hey, listen, is this, I needed a bigger bushing. That's what he said and she said. Now if I can just find it, damn thing. Here. So this bushing, you always want to make sure that the grease, the Zert fitting, thanks Stevie K, that your holes line up with the one inside there and here, right? But check this out. So that bushing fits in there loosely. You can't have that, because when it goes down the road, you're going to be moving. You don't want that. So he sized it up So, I guess sorry I'm jumping around. So when you take this bushing over this, and this is the correct new S-cam, it fits on there pretty decent. Like very little play, very little play. However, the bushings that I bought from them, because I didn't want to buy the whole bushing kits, that's supposed to be it right there. So now you got to tap this in like I did on my truck, what I did in my S-cams on my rig. You're going to want to press that in there. Or what I do is I take, because we got a lot of tools, I just take a same size socket and I pop it in there. What I'll do is I'll spray a little grease on this thing, just like Schaefer's or PB Blast or whatever you want to use, just so it lubes it up just a hair to help guide it in. And then I just take a hammer and I tap her in on there, obviously. So, but here's the problem. That has some play in it, and I don't like that. However, I'm wondering if it's going to, because once I press it into that piece, that housing, I'm sure that this is gonna shrink in diameter a little bit. But look at that play. I don't like that. But I'm wondering if they're supposed to be playing that for the grease to get between the S-cam housing and the bushing. You know what I'm saying? So that way, because if this thing's super tight on here, your grease isn't going to go in there. So that is that. But yeah, this is the reason why we don't have mechanics anymore. Because, you know, have you guys ever heard the old saying, a mechanic's car is never fixed, a painter's house is never painted, you know, a roofer's house is never painted, so on and so on. And it's so easy for these mechanics to say, oh, well, fuck. I mean, you know, because when you go to like different shops, right, and you have some they're gonna fix something for you, and you're like, whoa, man, that's a lot of money, blah blah blah, maybe I'll just wait. And then, or somebody half-ass it or whatever, and the mechanics is, yeah, that cheap motherfucker, and this and that, and but, well, yeah, of course you're saying that because you ain't got to pay the bill. So let's go out and take a look at your truck or your car. Have you ever seen techs at Petros and TA's cars? They're fucking jalopies. So anyways, if you're going to preach to me about my equipment, I'd like to see your equipment. And if you're a mechanic, I'd love to see your vehicle. So anyways, these things are not cheap to fix. The slack adjuster, I'm just going to clean that up because it is functional. I do have some new ones in the shop, but I think when I do the new drums at my next brake job, I'm going to check all the S-cams. The other S-cams are tight, believe it or not. They're tight in there. You cannot wiggle them. But like I said, I like to check the S-cams whenever I do my pads. And obviously your hub seals, make sure they're not leaking, whatever the case is. So, and this is a 95 Benson, so we got the old hubs on them. So it's also very important to check your lubricant and whatnot. But yeah, I just wanted to do a quick video. So well, it's not quick, it's almost 15 freaking minutes. But yeah, there was no bushing on that S-cam, which I found was just absolutely ridiculous. So anyways, I wanted to share with you guys because I didn't know about the drum diameter or measurement from across from one side to the other. And like I said, clean up your drum. And this one here has minimal lip. That's why I went with this one. The other ones that I got like 5 or 6 used ones in the shop. And being that I'm going to wait till my next brake job to replace all the drums, this will definitely last. So I got about 1/8 of an inch before that 16 5/8 comes up. So And then obviously check your drums for cracks and whatnot. So anyways, I just wanted to give you guys some info on that. So your inside diameter cannot be more than 16 5/8 worn. So your minimum is 16 5/8. And check that lip in there, because if you're measuring from the top of this drum to the top of the drum, you're not going to get that true 16 5/8. You got to actually go inside the dip, because it's going to be smaller or less drum, and you're going to want to go from dip to dip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. Anyways, which I'm actually having a dip in my mouth right now. So anyways, that's about it, man. I like to do videos to show guys, and I guess gals too, that work on their equipment. So anyways, please like and subscribe to the channel. Ciao.